robię live'a o 18:20. Już? Aha. Dobra.
What's the word, birds? What's going on? Good morning, everybody. What what is going on this fine Monday morning? Hello, Lonnie. Berkey on YouTube. Good morning. Do you think he wore a suit? Yeah, that's a good question. Let's ask Brian Glenn. Hello, everybody. Hello, good morning. Hello. What's going on? I don't even know what this stream is. Are these guys meeting here? Is this clown already at the White House? I'm assuming he's already there. Good morning, everybody. Figured I'd jump on here and see what's going on. We'll take a look at what the news is doing this morning. Let's see. So we have this feed live from outside the White House right now. Good morning, good morning. Doesn't look like anything yet. Yeah, no one's been in front of the microphone, I guess. Thought they weren't coming till 1:30. Oh, boy. Well, this is going to be a long stream if that's the case. Man, it's cold here in New York today. It's like fall. Did I get my son moved? No, that's this week. Official move-in day is Friday, but we're going up there Wednesday. Hello, everybody from Alaska, from Michigan. Welcome in. Winter is coming bad this year, tumbleweed farmer? Oh, I hope not. I could take 70s all year round, but unfortunately that's not going to happen here. Hello, hello, everybody. 92 in Alabama, nice. Friends of mine just moved their son into Alabama for his freshman year. It's hot and humid in South Carolina, okay. E.K. Lang on Facebook, good morning. J.S. Grant, good morning. Leslie, good morning. Vicky, Mary, Facebook, a lot of Facebook this morning. Cooper, thank you. Good morning. European leaders to arrive at White House, the feed says. Okay, we got any sound on this thing, or what's the deal? Yeah, it sounds up. So, let's see what... No one else looks like they're talking about this right now.
It could be more finality. It's not for me to negotiate for Ukraine, but I think I have a pretty good idea what they'd like to see and what's good and what's not good. But more importantly than the deals and all of the things we've been talking about are the lives.
Well, listen, Clinton can get in line when it comes to nominating Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize because that's already been done by Representative Buddy Carter and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And there are a number of other countries that have either endorsed or nominated Trump for settling disputes. We're talking Pakistan, Cambodia.
Let's see what
from the FBI, from DHS, from Secret Service, all these federal agencies keep trying to keep D.C. safe.
I mean, you were out there all weekend talking to Washingtonians, looking at what the presence looks like. What then happens when you add the fact that some of these troops are now going to be...
Look at the lower third. It's so stupid. As some are set to carry firearms. Oh, my God. Do you believe it? Some are set to carry firearms. Oh, my God. Gary, what are we going to do? GOP states to send National Guard troops to D.C. as some are set to carry firearms. Oh, my God. Law enforcement, National Guard carrying firearms. Oh, my God. The world is coming to an end.
Pointing out some of the things that they can and cannot do. Can you further detail a little bit of that for us, Carol?
Yeah, sure. Please, Carol.
Sure. The National Guard, when it's called up in this manner to do local law enforcement, essentially, it's to support federal law enforcement in their jobs. And that's the rationale for bringing the National Guard in.
Legal analyst.
And to that end, they are not supposed to be doing street operations. They are not supposed to be arresting people.
They're not supposed to be.
As you've noted, they're supposed to be helping protect the federal personnel who are trying to do their jobs. That is what we heard in Los Angeles, and that is what we're seeing here today.
No thanks.
Later this week. Dana?
Garrett Tenney, thank you for the update.
Well, right now, former Attorney General Bill Barr is on Capitol Hill. That is where he's testifying behind closed doors before a House panel on the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. We'll have more on that coming up next. Plus,
oh, look at this. I love this headline. Hurricane Aaron strengthens to Cat 4. We could have told you that.
The Atlantic season now back to a Category.
We've been working with a Hurricane Aaron for 2 years now. She's been a Cat 4, Cat 5 every day. So we know the deal. Let's see what these other bozos are talking about. Oh, look, they're talking about Hurricane Aaron too, it looks like. Oh, no. Rubio, both sides must make... Rubio, I'll tell you, Rubio's, I don't know. Rubio, I think, is excellent. How he deals with these Sunday morning morons is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. He is so good. He was so good on what I saw him on Sunday, dealing with these absolute kook, just out of their mind. Know it all. Think they know it all. They don't know shit. God, these people are so stupid. Margaret Brennan. She has to work so hard to try to sound smart, and it just does not work. But in the face of these absolute losers, man, he is good. He comes as close as anybody I've ever heard of saying, basically, like, you don't know what the F you're talking about. Shut up. Which is what these people deserve to hear. Still nothing over here on this shot. Bum, bum, bum. So what's going on, everybody? Everybody's weekend was good? There's not much else. Let's go to X. I haven't really seen much else this morning going on. What is with the what's with the Gavin Newsom all caps flooding my X feed with stupid responses? Is anybody else getting this on their X? God, it's annoying. He's trying to be like Trump or something, but it's just not working. It's just terrible. But like I keep, it's like nonstop. Oh, is today the day that MSNBC finally goes bye-bye? Let me go back to this. You can probably see better. That's what they came up with, huh? MS Now. As the cable news channel MSNBC splits up with NBC News, it is also dropping the NBC from its name. That's probably a good idea. Later this year, it will become MS Now, which stands for My Source for News, Opinion, and the World. How much did they pay somebody to come up with that? MS Now. I don't know. I guess it's better with the NBC out, I would guess. But when you lead with MS, that's all anyone's going to think of is NBC. But I'm sure they paid somebody millions to sit there for hours upon weeks upon months to go, I got it. MS now. Hey, great job. What's this? What is this here?
You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income.
How is that possible? Thank you.
How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way.
Okay, that's enough of that. MSNBC will be rebranded to MS Now. What are your thoughts? Uh-oh, we lost the feed. The feed has gone dark at the White House. I wonder if they're moving inside. Let's see. Don't see much. Oh, it's back. Yeah, the MS still stands. The MS still stands for Microsoft. They're keeping that. Imagine having that choice. Hey, do we want to keep the Microsoft part or the NBC part? Oh, man. Talk about... That's a rough one. Anybody watch Scotty Scheffler yesterday? My God. Just when you think he's human after he three putts on, what was it, 15? He just shows you, don't get any ideas. Because I'm going to drop this impossible chip on 17 to take a 3-shot lead and win the tournament going away easy. The guy is just ridiculous. He's the closest thing we've seen to Tiger. And it's not even really still close. Tiger of the 2000s, but Scotty is on another planet. Trump killed off MSNBC. This alone should get him added to Mount Rushmore, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Anybody into watching these guys? I think it's more enjoyable than regular baseball. Anybody into watching the bananas? It's a lot of fun, man, if you haven't seen them. I've settled 6 wars in 6 months, one of them a possible nuclear disaster, and yet I have to read and listen to the Wall Street Journal and many others who truly don't have a clue telling me everything that I'm doing wrong with Russia-Ukraine mess. That is Sleepy Joe Biden's war, not mine. I'm only here to stop it. not to prosecute it any further. It would have never happened if I was president. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I don't need the advice of people who have been working on all of these conflicts for years who were never able to do anything to stop them. They are stupid people with no common sense, intelligence, or understanding, and they only make the current RU disaster more difficult to fix. Despite all of my lightweight and very jealous critics, I'll get it done. I always do. Yeah. And I said that on Friday. People were so quick to just jump up and down and say, this whole thing was a disaster. I don't know about that. I wouldn't be so quick. I think it's very delicate. I think there was very real reasons for not taking questions from the idiot reporters. And all of that contributed to people going, oh no, this was just a disaster. I mean, I don't think it went the way he was hoping. But in the same respect, I don't think he walked in there thinking it was going to be a cakewalk with this guy and trying to make some kind of a deal that he knows. No one knows better than Trump, though, that to have some kind of lasting deal, both sides are not going to be happy, or both should not be happy. And there's going to have to be some guarantees for Ukraine. And probably some guarantees for Russia, either on the NATO front or who knows what. I'm sure those are the big sticking points. You know, this is something we can definitely talk about. And I read this morning. Trump's after talking with Putin, I guess, this whole thing on mail-in ballots, he's going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots. Again, we all obviously would love to see that, but unfortunately, you don't do it by executive order. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, we wouldn't want a Democrat president by executive order saying, well, it's universal mail-in ballots for everybody, and that's the way it's going to be. So, I mean, I get what he's saying here, but unfortunately, I think someone better remind him that he's going to need 60 votes in the Senate to get something like this done, and that ain't happening. An executive order on this is going to last about 30 seconds to get to the first court. So while I agree with everything he wrote about how we got here, this is not something you're going to tackle by executive order and have it have any teeth. Nor would we want this kind of power to lay in the hands of the executive, quite frankly, on elections. We just wouldn't. You can say you would now because it's our guy in there. But there's going to be a Democrat president at some point, and you would not want him to hold the same power through the pen if this somehow were to be taken seriously through executive order. It's not happening. It shouldn't happen. That's the point. It shouldn't happen. As much as we all agree with obviously the sentiment. So, hey bud, how you doing? Let's see what we got here. We're still sitting on this shot at the White House. This might be here for a while. The audio here is up, so if something happens, we will hear it. But as of right now, we got nothing. The regular channels are talking about really nothing. Actually, they're all in commercial. Bump, bump, bump. So what else is going on? Anything's caught anyone's attention this morning? In the news? What's going on here? Looks like there's some more people gathering out here. Maybe we're going to get something going on here in a little bit. Anybody watch UFC Saturday night? Man, oh man. What a one-sided, lopsided destruction that was. DDP. Not good. Good morning, Elaine on YouTube. Good morning. Welcome on in. Who is that doing the talking in the crowd? I don't know. I'm assuming these are all reporters out here. Damon, wishing your son a great, safe college life. Thank you very much, John. Yeah, I think he's going to really enjoy. I hope and I think he'll really enjoy it. Not too far away, but far enough away to be independent and grow up a little bit more and start thinking about your life. Get into what you want to do. He'll have some friends there. He has family there. My sister's 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the road. My brother-in-law works there. So, should be good. What's going on with this feed, man? It's glitchy. 6-1 odds he's not wearing a suit. I don't know about that. Ooh. We'll see. I'm sure Brian Glenn will be on it. Lorraine on YouTube, good morning. Man, this feed is horrible. Well, their live view is brutal. I don't know. The networks aren't really talking about anything either. Maybe a little bit here. Let's see.
He will sit down with European heads of state. Now, this is all part of a big diplomatic push to bring peace to Ukraine. And U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker, joins us now. Great to have you here. Can't have a better guest.
Matt Whitaker, I liked him.
One of the things that the European Commissioner President said is that this is welcome to them because the issue of security guarantees is on the table. Watch her here.
Oh, we just talked about this.
We welcome President Trump's willingness to contribute to Article 5-like security guarantees for Ukraine. And the coalition of the willing, including the European Union, is ready to do its share.
Can you elaborate on that to the extent possible before this meeting?
Yeah, well, certainly that is going to be the number one topic, I think, today, in addition to President Zelenskyy responding to what President Trump heard from President Putin on Friday. And the security guarantees, when you talk about Article 5 like guarantees, obviously the security guarantees would be outside of NATO because Ukraine is not a member of NATO. But a lot of the members of NATO,
the Crimson
especially
Tide,
in this coalition of the willing she mentioned, which is Great Britain, Germany, France, and several other big European countries, are going to be providing that assistance. They obviously want the United States involved. The United States provides certain capabilities that aren't available to anybody else on the globe. And so that discussion is going to be a big part of what the Europeans today talk about with the president.
How does all of this get secured? Like, what is the, when we say guarantee and it's a possibility of U.S. involvement, how do you understand U.S. involvement in this case?
Yeah, ultimately that's up for President Trump to determine. A lot of it could be command and control. It doesn't necessarily need to be American troops, but at the same time, obviously, Ukraine and the European countries would love the United States to be involved in some way. That I don't expect, but we'll see. We'll see how President Trump negotiates this, because ultimately, for Ukraine to make a deal, they want to make sure it doesn't happen again. They've fought for 3.5 years, a brutal meat grinder war where tens of thousands of soldiers every week are perishing on the battlefields, and they don't want that to ever happen again. And so if they're going to get a lasting peace, they know that they're going to need a security backstop, and it's going to be provided and paid for by the Europeans.
One thing that is pretty interesting, I think, is that President Trump's been very open, as he is with most things, right? He said that he'll have these conversations with Putin. Everybody talks nice.
God, you see that list of European leaders that are coming over there, and the Italian one's the only one who has any guts. The rest of them are a bunch of pansies, man. Have Trump having to deal with these guys. Can you imagine what it is dealing with these tree-hugging wussies from around the world? All of them in there. Ugh. Starmer and every one of them, as you see that lineup. Macron, oh my God. Just crazy.
Is the pacing threat for NATO. I mean, that is why they all agreed to 5% at The Hague a couple months ago. It's why, you know, it is stronger now as an alliance than probably ever has been. And I see every day, being in Brussels and working with our European and Canadian colleagues, I see their commitment to getting stronger. But, you know, they, for too long, took a peace dividend. And digging out of that, kind of hollowing out of their militaries is going to take some time. And they need to prepare. And if you know, the closer you are to the Russian border, so if you're in the Baltics or you're in Poland, you feel every day the significant threat that is Russia to them. So we're going to have to continue to work with them. They need U.S. leadership. We're not leaving Europe, but at the same time, they need to take over the traditional defense, and we're helping them get there as fast as possible.
Senator Chris Van Hollen is a Democrat who had a lot of negative things to say about President Trump's meeting with Putin in Alaska. Watch here.
Well, Martha, there's no sugarcoating this. Donald Trump once again got played by Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin got...
Yeah, shut up, you punk. Just talking about this guy. This doesn't look good. What's this now? Maryland Governor Wes Moore falsely claimed to be a Bronze Star recipient. Jeez. On White House fellowship application. Said it was an honest mistake. Yeah, I'm sorry. If I claim on my White House fellowship application that I used to be the Pope, and then they, of course, find out that I wasn't the Pope, I don't know how you get away with that was an honest mistake. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I forgot. I was actually a music teacher. It's easy to confuse the two. Really? Like, what do you mean it was an honest mistake? These lying, thieving Democrats try to get away with it's an honest mistake. Democrat Maryland Governor Wes Moore claimed Thursday that it was an honest mistake when he lied about being a prestigious Bronze Star recipient. Yeah, because that seems like something you would forget or you could easily confuse. On a 2006 White House fellowship application. Moore, who was 27 years old when he applied, okay, not 7 years old, not 17 even, which is still not excusable, 27 years old when he applied for the White House position, blamed his Army superiors for the inclusion of the falsehood on the application. Oh, so, okay, blaming the people higher than you. Aha, got it. And said he never corrected the mistake because he was eager. Oh, he never corrected the mistake. So he knew it was a mistake before he even submitted it because he was eager to begin the next phase of his life. In a statement released to the New York Times reported on the embellishment. I mean, come on. I mean, are you kidding me? These are the facts, the Maryland government wrote in a lengthy statement. While serving overseas with the Army, I was encouraged to fill out an application for the White House Fellowship from my deputy brigade commander. In fact, he helped me edit it before I sent it in. All the time he had recommended me for the Bronze Star. He told me to include the Bronze Star Award on my application after confirming with 2 other senior level officers that they had also signed off on the commendation. Moore noted that his deputy brigade commander felt comfortable with instructing me to include the award. Yeah, hey, include this even though you haven't gotten it yet, because what is this? Is this a joke? Again, like, no, they told me I was going to be the Pope. Yeah, they told me the white smoke was coming, so I just included it. Oh, wait, I never was. Oh, yeah, I forgot to correct it. Oh, don't worry, it was an honest mistake. Trust me. Trust me. Come on, trust me. These people have no shame. Absolutely no shame. Guys, can you see this comment? I don't know. Can we? Take a wild guess. Guys, can you see this comment? I don't know. Take a wild guess. European hacks. Yeah, Jerry, exactly. Zelenskyy, European leaders head to the White House. I guess what are we trying out? New lower thirds here? Bum, 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 bum. Wes Moore. What a joke. That's a bad one. Here you go. Typical Washington Post. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Quote, violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people, President Trump said of D.C. Washington Post reporters retraced some of the president's routes with the goal of seeing his view of Washington firsthand. Look at the picture they put up. It's like, the Washington Post didn't find any, so there is none, everybody. Oh yeah, I don't subscribe to this rag, so we can't see it. We drove Trump's DC. Turns out he may not be seeing much. Okay. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's like they send these reporters out to these cities and they're like, okay, let's go to the best, richest place you could find at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, do a hit, and just claim no crime. Poof, there it is. And then they expect everybody just to believe it. Do-do-do. Well, I don't know. I saw somewhere this thing was happening, but I guess not. Maybe somebody who said they're going to be at 1:30 is right. What's let's go over to
the base and the taxpayers in the United States. Second, who paid an even greater price for this war? All the war dead, all those boys bleeding over on the fields. It's 1 million in Ukraine and 1 million dead and injured in Russia, both, right? And the latest stats seem to show losses in Russia are just a trickle, right? And the single digits are a bit higher deaths per day. They're still taking it to Ukraine, right? Ukraine's recruiting 60-year-olds. No one wants to calculate, right, the price of those dead boys into these calculations. The Europeans, our chaperones, are disgusting morally for not mentioning the loss of life. And then at the end of the day, the World Economic Forum and all of our bettors are going to go in and make a ton of money on the minerals and agriculture and et cetera in Ukraine. It is morally repugnant. Harnwell started alluding to this. I'm going to get to why I think the war room is still scratching their heads on this thing. Trump President Trump is the commander-in-chief. He's the CEO. He's the chief magistrate. And so why is this not done, right? Everybody wants to know. Why is it? I want it to be done. I make people's heads pop off, but I'm going to give you 3 reasons, right? I'm going to go back to David Hume, who made the great moral distinction between what is and what ought to be. What ought to be is the kingdom of God on earth. What is the case is grotesque. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why our chaperones will not let Trump pull this off. Number 1 reason is that the Europeans and our globalists and our betters all know they caused this, right? We had a coup in 2014. They knocked out a democratically elected president of Ukraine. Putin, all the while way back then, said, after we already lied to him about 17 countries getting NATO status, this was the line in the sand. And so now Putin's saying nothing different. No, you're not going to do this. It's not going to be a NATO country. So number 1, our European betters know they caused this. Number 2, they also know, and I got a few charts on this that'll solidify this point, but they're scared, and so are our U.S. senators and the rhinos who were cheerleading and pumping up Zelenskyy before the last meeting when he not only slapped Trump in the face, he punched Trump in the face. And so the base is going, what in the world is going on here? Trump's the toughest guy we know of. He's the best fighter, the best negotiator. Why aren't we out of this mess? And then the third, of course, is just the money, right? It's just
Dave sounds like he's the
morally
host here.
grotesque. Who's going to win? It's just like the 2008 financial crisis, which lit the Tea Party and the grassroots on fire, and you've covered every bit of that. But let me just give you a couple quick charts just to show you what's at stake here. Number 1, the first chart just goes back to 2021. Here's the firepower, and the blue is Ukraine, the red's Russia. This is back when Politico and all of our lying mainstream media, all political views are my own, but it's just a fact. Yeah, look at that chart. There's Ukraine on the left, there's Russia on the right, and Politico saying they're winning. Ukraine's winning. Now they've lost. There's not a credible strategic analyst I know of that'll say they're winning. Second chart is even better.
Hold on, hang on. Whoa. Hang on.
Steve is there.
Slow down, Professor. Yep. The kids in the back row, that would be me. I was a back row guy. You've hang over a second. I want to make sure we're going to hold through the break. You're going to pick this up. And we got Poso and Brian Glenner at the White House. Historic day today. Obviously, the chaperones are coming. I don't think there's ever been a group, even in World War II, I don't think we ever had a group of the power. You know, you got Germany, you got France, you got Italy, you got the United Kingdom. You got all the ones that they think count over there coming. So historic day. President Trump, he's got Zelenskyy. The weight of history's on him. So we're going to explain it all to you exactly where we are. Remember, when Dave Bratt's talking about those charts, all of them said, remember how long you heard, oh, Ukraine's winning, the Russia's going to collapse, Russian economy's going to collapse, there's going to be a revolution, he's losing, he can't recruit any more people. It was all lies. All lies. 100% lies. We didn't buy this from the very beginning, from the night before, the evening before this fiasco started, back in February or March of 22? We told you exactly what was going to happen. Ben Harnwell, Dave Bratt, Jack Posobiec, Stephen K. Bannon, and more of the war room said this exact, Mersheimer's right. These guys are going to fight down to the last Ukrainian. Now they're getting close to the last Ukrainians. They're taking 60-year-old folks. They want American combat troops. Short break.
Tired of the hassle and high cost of selling a home?
There you go. Still got nothing on this feed. Now they've gone to a wide shot of the White House. All right, it says soon Trump hosts Zelenskyy, so we might be getting something here soon. I'm just going to leave the stream running either way. I may go make a coffee or slip away for a second, but I'm going to leave it running either way, so we won't miss it, and I'll be back. But right now, we'll hang and see. We'll see what they're saying here.
And join that meeting. Dan?
Edward, just real quickly, what happens to the Ukrainian-U.S. minerals deal in all this?
No, that is the foundation for peace. That the President Trump has always believed that minerals deal is a foundation for peace. Now, he is going to try and find a way, the White House is going to find a way to maybe find other mineral deposits if there is some sort of land swap. If there isn't that land swap in there, they're going to use those areas, those mines that already exist. And that is in the minds of the White House and the Treasury Secretary. You're going to have engineers, American engineers. You're going to have American possible construction workers on the ground in Ukraine. And their belief is that Russia, again, will not come through those people in order to try and take Ukraine, because then that draws the U.S. into a war, giving Ukraine some protection.
All right, Edward Lawrence, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dana.
And film illusion before.
All right, we'll keep this shot up for now. Did everybody see this headline today? By the way, that I put up? This seems just wild. Trump's IRS seeks to block whistleblower trial that alleges Clinton Foundation tax irregularities. Anybody want to take any ventures here on why? Because I can't come up with one. What does everybody think the reason for this is? U.S. tax court judge had tentatively set a December 1st trial, and the petitioners are facing opposition from Trump's IRS, largely on the basis of procedural and administrative law. Future filings in a possible trial may disclose more facts about the Clinton Foundation that have not yet been tested as true or false. Seems weird that, seems weird. But who knows? Oh, yeah. Hold on one sec. I'll be right back, everybody. All right, we're back. Yeah, so I don't know what's the word. What's the word here? Anybody got any guesses on this? It's a head scratcher. This is a head scratcher for sure. Let's see what else is headlining on Just the News today. Evacuation order issued for North Carolina Outer Banks as Hurricane Aaron moves closer to U.S. I haven't really followed this Hurricane Aaron. Is this thing going to be bad? Mandatory evacuation order was issued Monday for parts of North Carolina Outer Banks as Hurricane Aaron approaches. The order was issued. Hurricane intensity fluctuated over the weekend, weakening from a Category 5 to a Category 3 storm before strengthening back to a Category 4. Some additional strengthening is expected today. Aaron remained a dangerous hurricane through the middle of the week. Puerto Rico. Oh. Hadn't really followed that too much. Les Durham, how you doing? No problem. I haven't done one of these lives in a little while, so I like coming on here, just futzing around, looking at the news, seeing what you guys are up to. 870 of you in here. If you can, hit the like and subscribe. Would appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to whoever you're watching, I saw something. It said only about 20% of people who watch these lives are actually subscribed. So if you can, make sure you subscribe, whatever platform you're watching on. Especially if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you get notified when I go live. See what's going on over here.
Lot about a give and take, that both sides are going to have to give something and will get something in return. I want to start with the give on Russia's part, and that means security guarantees, willing to give security guarantees. The Wall Street Journal puts it this way. They write, what kind of peace in Ukraine, a good or bad agreement, may depend on the quality of Western security guarantees. Now, Steve Witkoff is saying that these security guarantees could look like Article 5 of NATO. That sounds like a huge deal. That means that if Russia were to ever come into Ukraine again and try to invade, then people like the U.S., Germany, France, they could send in troops.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the United States, that we would support that our voters would support that,
quite frankly.
or that President Trump's own constituents would support that. But more importantly, those are not security guarantees for Russia to negotiate. That's between us and Ukraine. Russia has not stepped forward with any offers to deal with this war. In fact, quite the contrary. Last night, Russia launched 140 drones and ballistic missiles at Ukrainians' critical infrastructure and their innocent civilians. President Putin didn't come to Alaska and ask President Trump to solve this, to find a good peace deal for the war that has cost his country reportedly 1 million soldiers and casualties, and resulted in Finland and Sweden joining NATO. This has been a loser war for Vladimir Putin, but he wants to carry it on. I just don't know that there's any evidence that he sees any other objective than to topple Ukraine's government now, or maybe if he takes all of Donbass through diplomatic negotiation rather through military conquest down the road in the future.
Well, that's the ask, right? That's the give that Putin wants.
I think that's right, by the way. I mean, I think you have to go back to, I've referenced this speech that Putin gave back in, I don't know, 2009, 10 or something, where he basically talks about exactly what he would want to do and how this land is Mother Russia's, and he's talked about it. It's not like he has not. People who say, he'd never go into the ball. He'd never go past Ukraine. He's talked about it. So the idea that any of this is going to change his ultimate goal or his ultimate ideas of what he thinks is rightfully theirs is not going to change, no matter what this deal looks like. And that's why people talking about whatever kind of ceasefire or agreement gets put into place, can you really trust that he's gonna abide by it? Look what he did in Syria. Didn't abide by any of the ceasefires, however many there were. And the idea that this is going to change his mindset on what he believes is his or theirs is most likely not going to be. You may deter him, which may be the point. How long you can do that for. But you're not going to change it. He's not going to all of a sudden say, oh, okay, we don't really want to take that land. That's not going to change. Again, look at this lineup. Imagine having to deal with Ursula, Friedrich, Mark, Emmanuel, Keir, Maloney we like. She's pretty good. Alexander Stubb from Finland. How'd you like to deal with that lineup today? These tree-hugging wussies. They'd give up. They just handed over everything. Let's go have some tea. Everybody, kumbaya.
And talk about what the potential is to work together to solve this, I think that's a really good thing. And that's the only way we can deal with Russia, ultimately, is by working with our allies and then deterring any future Russian aggression.
Okay, we'll be watching it all together, and we'll find out what happens on the other side. Dan Hoffman.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we are, gang. I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to go make a coffee, maybe have some breakfast. I'll leave the stream going. I'll keep a lookout for what's going on, and then I'll be here, so I'll be back, and we'll see if we can catch this thing live on whatever's going to happen. Again, if you're watching, hit the like, subscribe. Appreciate it. I'll try to find some other feeds. I'll have the guys in the control room try to find some other feeds.
Made that summit in Alaska happen. He will say he's the one that's brought these leaders here to Washington today. Perhaps more significant, a word from Zelenskyy, who has been talking to Fox News this morning, and he has said that it is impossible to give up territory. Now, there is a big sticking point, because I think this all goes down to the idea of the contact line, that is the front line where the fighting is taking place now, and the geographical boundaries of the oblasts that are in the east of Ukraine, the counties effectively of the Donbass. What Putin wants is to take the whole of the Donbass, which would mean Ukraine giving up territory that it currently still holds. What I think Zelenskyy is talking about is potentially a freeze of the front line.
You have, folks, and just to put it in World War II perspective, you got the whole reason you have an EU is because of France and Germany. Let's throw in Italy and the United Kingdom. You got the big four showing up, right? Plus, I think you got a NATO guy, and you got a couple of three. You got a couple. I think the Baltic country, Finland's there. A couple other guys are showing up. The chaperones, they show up on the South Lawn at 12 noon. Is that what we got, brother?
That is correct. At noon o'clock. At noon on the South Lawn. Now behind me, and I'll step away real quick. I'll let our viewers take a look at this. I'll get out of the way. This is what they call the stakeout point, and this is where Zelenskyy and his motorcade, his media crew, will pull in. They'll pull around by the West Wing doors, and that's when he'll go in the West Wing doors. And that'll be the first time.
But hold it. But
we'll
hang on. Yeah, hang on. But I want to get a thing. The chaperones show up on the South Lawn because they're coming as a group.
Correct.
Right. And Zelensky's then coming to more of the more working West Wing, where we normally, when we have these bilats, they have that. So is the intention right now, Brian, just so I can understand this, is President Trump's, he's going to have a bilat with just Zelenskyy in the Oval like we had before, when Brian Glenn asked the greatest question, and correspondent Eric Severide would want to ask this question. Hey, brother, do you own a suit? Are you going to clean up before you come over here? We're going to have another bilat with just the president and Zelenskyy first, and then bring the chaperones in after that?
From what I understand, that is the process.
Okay, so this is going to be wild. And then I take it that's the state dining room. So are they going to have a working lunch? I mean, they're in the state dining room, which is magnificent, up in the main part of the White House, not the West Wing. Is that where I guess he'll meet with everybody? And that's going to be around 2 o'clock if I look at the schedule?
Yeah, around 2 o'clock, 2:15. Of course, that's all pending the arrival of Zelenskyy and on all the others. But they describe it, Steve, which is really interesting, as almost a family photo opportunity in this particular hall. I think it's called the Rose Hall, maybe. I've got to get the exact name on that. It was a hall I've never been in. So it is kind of spread out throughout the day. But, this is a very fluid situation. I mean, President Trump could get in there at 1:15 and decide, we're not going anywhere. And then perhaps everything gets accelerated or it gets pushed back. So like I said before, I mean, you can see the media here, and it's crazy.
Yeah. Brian, here's what's so amazing, and a hat tip to the White House staff. With the advanced guys and the planning of that meeting that went off flawlessly, logistically, right? Flawlessly, and you were there on Friday to come back and get back at dark 30, and then to have a long call with Zelensky and have Zelensky coming by Saturday, and then have the chaperones announce they're coming Saturday night. For the White House to get ready for this, the staff, this is just a Herculean task. People should understand, in the last 72 hours, what the White House staff to pull this off is extraordinary. I mean, this is one of the most important meetings in modern political history. You've never had a group of these power countries, I think, come together for something about war and peace. You're going to see it all today in Real America's Voice. Short break. We're going right back to the White House. We got Poso and Brian Glenn there.
Hi, it's Christina again. Is your shower trying to tell you something? Is getting in and out of the bathtub becoming a safety concern? Are you worried about the cost of a bathroom remodel that could go on for weeks and weeks? Well, now you can have a gorgeous new bath or shower that's safer at a
life-threatening surf and rip current conditions across almost the entire U.S. East Coast. And by tomorrow, everywhere you see in red here, so basically from South Florida through Georgia, North and South Carolina, up into the mid-Atlantic states, southern New England, with a high risk of life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. So these are going to be situations where you're not going to want to be in the ocean, and you're going to want to heed any precautions given by your local officials. Pay attention to any beach warning flags. And these dangerous surf conditions are going to continue throughout much of the upcoming week. So it's just not going to be a very safe environment to be in the ocean. And just a reminder again, even though the weather can be nice at the coast, you can still have dangerous surf and rip current conditions from a hurricane that's well offshore, like we're going to see with Aaron. So never assume the ocean is safe, even if the weather is nice. And please go to weather.gov/beach for the latest information on those surf and rip current conditions. As we back up and want to zoom in here, this is a slide from the National Weather Service office in Morehead City, North Carolina, showing some of the highest impacts we're expecting to see from Aaron here along the North Carolina Outer Banks. So where we're going to see that wave action is going to cause significant surf zone roughness, beach erosion, ocean overwash, especially along portions of North Carolina Highway 12 out here in the Outer Banks. So this area between Ocracoke up to Oregon Inlet is where we're expecting to see some of the most dangerous conditions along the ocean front. And evacuations have been ordered for Ocracoke Island and Hatteras Island in North Carolina. So please see more information from your local emergency and government officials in these areas. Heed those evacuation orders if you've been asked to leave. And again, you can always get more information from your local National Weather Service office at weather.gov. Now, I did mention the track moving a little closer to North Carolina. And that is bringing that risk of tropical storm conditions to the Outer Banks by late Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. So we could see a tropical storm and storm surge watch issued for portions of the North Carolina Outer Banks as soon as later today or tonight. And there is also a risk of tropical storm conditions on Bermuda as we get from Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Again, with the large size of air and even with the core of the storm passing well to the north, we could see some impacts there. So as we wrap up here on this Monday morning here, those key messages on Aaron, we're going to continue to see heavy rainfall through today over portions of Hispaniola, and through Tuesday for the Turks and Caicos and portions of the Bahamas. Could produce some flash and urban flooding are possible in those areas. Tropical storm conditions expected in those tropical storm warning areas in the Turks and Caicos and southeastern Bahamas today, with tropical storm conditions possible in the central Bahamas as we go from later today into Tuesday in that watch area. Aaron's expected to produce life-threatening surf and rip current conditions across much of the western Atlantic basin, the Bahamas, Bermuda, the U.S. East Coast, up into Atlantic Canada. And interest in the Outer Banks of North Carolina and Bermuda could see some more direct impacts from Aaron as we get into the middle portions of the week. We could see tropical storm conditions and coastal flooding possible along portions of the North Carolina Outer Banks beginning in the next day or so and continuing into Wednesday. So please stay tuned for more information on Aaron here. Come back to us at the National Hurricane Center at hurricanes.gov. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Brennan.
like the loop here, there, I think. So we should be okay, but after NBC, maybe.
Last time I think the Armenia thing was great, and it was. No, I'm here rarely, but.
Greg? Yeah.
But in comparison to the previous ones that I've been here, it was quite short. It was like this one, the Benito, kind of like this.
Yeah, every time is a little different. So. But I think we should be fine here.
We'll see soon enough.
Almost operate as a PR agency for Trump. Say, look, I don't know why they're saying that about you, because you are a success. You are the guy that has reopened dialogue. It's just a question of where we take it from here. And of course, remember us, we're your old allies. He's the enemy. So come with us. Let's talk about our friendship. Let's talk about why that should be cemented at a time like this. And let's talk about the politics that can make that work for us, for you, and crucially for Ukraine. It wouldn't surprise me, Kamali, if they floated the notion of the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, Donald Trump is a man who likes shiny things, and that, you know, he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. Don't underestimate the significance of that.
Came together at the last minute. Also, I believe, Brian Glenn, that President Trump might call an audible or two during the day. So walk us through the structure as the day as it's currently presented, sir.
Okay, Steve, as it sits right now, we're looking at a 12 p.m. arrival for the European leaders. That's on the South Portico. That's the South Lawn. They will be met with Monica Crowley will meet those European leaders. At 1 o'clock, right behind me, President Zelenskyy will roll in with his motorcade. They will meet the president outside the West Wing doors. They'll go inside. And then 15 minutes later, around 1:15, and we've seen it wiggle forwards and backwards on that, there will be a bilateral meeting in the Oval Office just between Zelenskyy and President Trump. Moving ahead to about 2:30, they call this a family photo in the Cross Hall. That is with the European leaders as well, with I'm presuming President Trump and Zelenskyy. And then we'll fast forward to 3 o'clock. That is a multilateral meeting in the East Room. What I'm pulling from that, Steve, that's everyone together for the first time, because the European leaders won't be in that Oval Office when he meets one-on-one with Trump. So that will be the first time they all get to be on stage and answer questions, I guess.
This is classic Trump. He's got he gets the chaperones early, but he gets them off. You're the chaperones. Go drink the punch while the kids dance. Okay, he gets together later. Being a betting man, Brian, I think you agree with me that it may not be exactly start at 3 o'clock, and I think that the group meeting, where you have all the power players in Europe, you have the head of the Italian government, the French government, the German government, the NATO guys there, you get the British government, the United Kingdom. I think that might take longer than an hour, particularly if President Trump is banging heads and trying to get a deal. So we just have to be flexible throughout the day. Brian, can you hang on 1 second? We'll come right back to you. Ben Harnwell, as Brian rolls out the logistics of the day, what are your first observations,
all right, so there you
sir?
go. There's the logistics of the day.
Steve, as I'm listening to you talking with Brian Glenn and Dave Bratt before and going over what I said at the first part of the show, the thought comes to me, I don't even want to be, like, I know I'm an international correspondent, but I don't even want to be talking about Ukraine. This is mid-August, okay? Mid-August, and we're talking about Ukraine. Here's something I would like to talk about. It's what I posted on Getter just before the start of the show. something that MTG posted. This woman who's from Illinois, ordinary, regular American, breaks down in tears. She says, "I'm wondering if anyone else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime. I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. Gas prices and electric bills and prices of food is just so overwhelming," right? That is the situation facing so many, like 100 million Americans right now. And energy is it's not being spent on putting Americans first. It's still, Steve, in mid-August, all this political energy, all this political capital is being diverted on Zelensky. There is no outcome on this, on these negotiations, that's going to get any reaction from me other than meh, not interested. Couldn't care about Ukraine, really couldn't. That was what I thought Vice President Vance's position was, right? I couldn't. Why are we still talking about this? There are domestic issues far more.
Okay, we'll go back to that when he's not on. What a flimsy argument that is. Hard to figure that. Uh-oh, I don't want to ruin the, maybe it'll change, but here he is from before, meeting with Kellogg. No suit. No suit.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Thank you so much. Hi, good to see you.
No suit.
Great. How are you?
Black t-shirt. Actually looks like me getting ready for a Friday night at the warehouse. Black on black.
Mr. President, thank you very much for your time. I know your time is busy.
A little bit.
What I wanted to do just briefly was to, I've got a meeting with the President, the Vice President, and National Security Advisor, Secretary of State this morning.
Thank you so much. So first of all, we are thankful to the President for this invitation and the format of what we will have. It's important signals about security guarantees, and that's why it's important that we are together with the United States and Europe, and the President accepted the common meeting also after our bilateral common meeting with the Europeans. And so I'm so grateful that such big countries as UK, Finland, and President von der Leyen, the Secretary, Rutte, that they will come. And I think this will be an important meeting, and we will speak about the architecture. I think so. We will have time to speak about architecture of security guarantees. And this is what really I think the most important.
Good.
Yes. I hope so. We will speak together. We will begin, of course, bilaterally, but I think mostly we can speak about it when we will be together, sitting together. And I think this is.
Okay, well, there you go. There's a little bit of a pre-meeting with Keith Kellogg. And you hear it's all about security guarantees. Which we heard the Article 5 thing floated. That seems absolutely like insanity to me that could even be on the table. I can't imagine it is, quite frankly. So. Okay, that guy's gone. Dave Bratt's back. Let's go back here.
of every decent country in Europe
right.
to come to the United States, right?
Right.
Number one. We bailed them out in World War I. We bailed them out again in World War II. We bailed them out again in the Cold War, right? The entire American Reagan taking down the evil empire. Hey, it's your baby. Ignatius is right from the Langley Bugle as the comms director over there. This is about making, he says it right at the beginning, this is about making Ukraine a Western country. Well, good on you. Because Germany, France, and Italy right now and UK are in the process of making themselves non-Western countries.
Boy,
They've invited in
fact.
is an Islamic invasion of jihadists and left-wing Marxists. They're going to want us bailing out from that too. No. The madness has to stop. And President Trump, please tell these guys, tell the chaperones to go home.
No matter what you drive.
I just don't see how you can expect him to do that. That should be America's position. I don't know. See nothing, hear nothing. Just hide under a blanket. That's going to be our position. We're going to just total isolationism. Hard to figure that one, but maybe it's me. All right, well, we got about a half an hour till it sounds like the action's going to start. So, yeah, I'm going to leave the stream going, and I will be back for the action. In the meantime, I'll leave you here in case they come out to the microphones, and I'll see you in a little bit.
jakby co, zapraszam o 12, przy 12. Ja muszę. Czekaj. Ja muszę ładnie. Na drugą stronę. Super, z takiego dnia. Ja ci pokażę, jak na Instagramie co tu się dzieje. Są lajki na Instagramie. 60 lajków na moje standardy. Super, fajne to zdjęcie. No, myślę, fajne, takie dyczne. Myślane, idę zrobić filmik sobie tutaj i idę do łazienki. No i tak, proszę Państwa, znajdujemy się w domu na ważnym spotkaniu. Interesujący poniedziałek. Interesujący. I'm doing stuff outside the
sniff until you find a spot. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna have to be right here.
Or you go right back that way. There's also a chance that all of you chance they might try to push everybody to your back.
Yeah. Okay.
East Coast.
Shopping.
I will charge my phone.
Yes, I was just charging my phone. Oh, thank you, John Lyons. Nice meeting you. I don't have my business card because I just changed. I was with Voice of America. You know what happened. Shut it down. Yeah.
Based here in Washington.
Yes, I was the White House correspondent for VOA. And now I just... Yes, for the Latin American service. So it's very strange because I had to go to the office and say, hi, this is Carolina. I used to work for VOA. Now I'm changing. They were okay, oh fine. But I want to be asking the same questions. Antena 3. Antena 3 is the leading news channel in Spain. But it's the same person. Just change network. You know? It's and we have a chair in the newsroom. So I was just sitting in my... It's still empty because we went to court. We're suing them. The case is still in the court. Of course, yes. So let me just put this here. Yeah, so it should be empty, so...
Hi.
Yes, we're supposed to make this chair.
I hate to gotta take your seat.
So it's, yes, it's our chair, so
Wszystko okej?
so it's still, you know, we're still in the court, you know.
Zaskoczy, że być może będzie jakiś odsuwany.
The case is in the court, so the chair still exists.
reagować, gdyby ciebie nie było. Po prostu wszyscy solidarnie ruszają do przodu. Wszyscy solidarnie ruszają.
So I was just sitting in my old chair. All right. So.
Myślisz, że będzie padać? Może przyjść deszcz. Niby deszcz dopiero o 6, 5, ale patrzę tam policji. Jak radzisz się? No. That's great. No. I was about to ask you.
I think
The Secret Service is going to do it. Yeah,
like tell them that they need
no, jak będą, to wszyscy będą musieli, ale nie sądzę, bo... Oni to zrobią. Wszyscy wszystkich już strawy zaczęli wywalać. Chodzą, latają, może czekać. Gdzie będę robił? Boże, wyrzucili ich. Teraz wszyscy stoją tu i stąd też ich wyrzucą. Ty zostaniesz, ale ich wyrzucisz.
Powiedz mi, czy ja powinienem zadzwonić do Michała Węglika, powiedzieć, że do odwołania jestem z pozycji Borocha, z nadajnika Borocha?
Ja już to mu powiedziałem. Przed chwilą do niego zadzwoniłem, powiedziałem, że Michał jest sam z
that when Zelenskyy came the first time.
Oh, you know, if I don't, then
You know when everything that happened in the Oval. That was similar. Close to.
not the case.
Yeah, I was there, yeah.
12%?
I mean, I was here, but a little bit more that side.
I think it'd be pretty good in the job. I think they went to the school, big stuff. Spin the wheel, pick a number. I did not. I filmed just stupid shutter stop. Because Zuma, all the people that post Zuma only post like 1 or 2 pictures. Rather post a lot more. Yeah, but like, man, sometimes you see that no one cares about that. You get just you're gonna learn. Yeah, but the process is a lot harder. You just need to add that's okay. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Shutterstock. From when Azerbaijan and Armenia came. New York, White House, yeah.
Ja mam jeszcze jeden taki, mogę ci dać, jakbyś chciał kiedyś. To jest fantastyczny gadżet na kurtkę taki. Jakbyś chciał, mam w pokoju, kupiłem sobie wielki panel. Mogę ci odstąpić, jakbyś chciał, wysłać link, jakbyś chciał sobie kupić.
Zobacz, co Wiktor napisał, bo wysłałem mu to, co nagraliśmy, i stoimy.
Chcę ci wyśleć, coś pokażę, to ci zmienię.
To mój syn to docenia, że jesteś. Ale się orientuje.
On jeszcze operatorem został.
Nie.
Nie pozwolisz?
Nie.
Spójrz teraz, co dostałeś. Wysłałem ci. No tak, to jest, no, ale słuchaj, te dziewczyny z internetu, no teraz byliśmy długo, ale wy tam macie. Tak, tak, ale wiesz, cały czas oglądają ludzie, to jest fajne.
To ja może zęby
Już za długo tu pracujesz, musi być prędzej później. Dobra, słuchaj, bo ja mi się zaczyna tej gromadzić dobytek za bardzo, więc ja też to powierzchnię.
Słuchaj, no właśnie, jeśli się to na to
tak,
to jest jeszcze jedna rzecz. Jest przynieść ładowarkę do telefonu, bo masz chyba jeszcze kontakty wolne.
Tak, ale wiesz co?
Za dużo będzie.
Za dużo, a tu jest na pewno tyle prądu, że to podoła.
Podoła.
Musi podołać. Jak nie podoła,
tylko to jak, znaczy jak przed podjazdem, no to już to włączysz się będziesz trzymał, nie? Ale jak nie trzeba, to wygaszaj, tak? Wiesz jak, tak?
Tak, tak. Ja planuję zrobić w ten sposób, że mówię w sumie, chyba nie da się. Pęknięta. Kurde. Jak zrobić, wiesz, takie trzymadełko, nie?
Dobra, myślę, czy mam coś ci
bo ja wziąłem ogromny plecak, ale nie przydźwigam do tej ręki.
Ja mam chyba tą torebkę taką z jelenową, którą możesz wywiesić.
Dawaj, super.
We can practice Spanish.
Okay?
Spanish, No, we're speaking Spanish. You know Spanish.
Solamente un
Okay.
decent quality. Like this, my photos come out to be like anywhere from 25 to 60. No, man, it just want the like the paper that they sent you in rates like that. Just send them. When they check all your information and have like all stuff good, then they're gonna provide like one a username and password.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Am I in your way?
No. Oh, am I in your way?
Kind of. Yes? Yeah, for now. For now?
I was just wondering, are you the one having some of these cameras?
No.
If I am down here, would that be in your way?
So, White House TV is going to be right here. You'd have to ask. And AP, not AP, but I don't know who she works for, but I know the person who is here. Yeah, ABC, the lady. Hello.
ABC.
Okay.
ABC is here.
Okay, I'll wait and I'll ask.
I'll show you. I'll point to the person once I see her.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
But I understand if I'm in the way.
Well, there is that risk. We'll find out soon. Oh, if I'm sitting, I still am I good and out of your shot? You likely are good, yeah, as long as you don't stand up.
No, you're not. I'm just checking it.
My colleague will be here soon and then we'll know more, but here you're totally cool. I appreciate you asking me. This might be the worst spot for that thing. Oh, like for example, so watch out, because that camera is super, dziękuję. Marcin, taka ciekawostka, że tutaj już postawić, jak widzisz to, mieścisz się w kadrze? Mieścisz. Mówią, że podobno jeszcze mogę być po tej stronie szybko. Super.
No do czasu aż ten, ale ja mam jeszcze miejsce, z którego się mogę troszkę cofnąć.
Nie, wiesz co, no lepiej nie, bo jak tak jeszcze trzymajmy. Słuchaj, mamy lajki właśnie.
Zapytam, czy masz też na pewno...
I have a live shot in the moment, so I can't really focus on it now. But afterwards, I'll try to help you out.
No.
Słuchaj, chyba jest podróż.
Nie wiem, kiedy oni to zafuzują.
Jak chodzi na wiesz co, to nie, to ustaw i uciekaj tam.
Poczekaj, ja zapytam.
And they're like, those blisters are going to pop and it's going to be raw. And then so you can't put like a Band-Aid on it. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? So, I know. It's almost healed though. How are you?
Not your paranoid.
No.
Done with that.
You know me. I'm not sorry. Is the bench better one? Y'all going to do the bench?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be shooting with the camera.
Come on. I'm going to photograph you guys.
Are you going to go there?
I'm going to shift this to the thing. I might go right. Are you going to be inside?
I think I'm.
Oh, well, yeah, I was never there.
I mean, you
That's unfortunate.
You go for it.
These two ladies with the friend.
So you guys can be right over here. Yeah, and then after the arrival, you guys will get escorted back. Is the last one? Oh, France is last. Okay, then you need to go back. I can actually walk you guys out because we're gonna rotate you as the leaders arrive. Yeah. Okay. Micah. Okay. I heard it was Micah. I heard it was Cam Newcomb, but do you just want to take over?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
Not the president. That's what I'm saying. Why are you guys over there? You can't see the person coming in as well. But it's the protocol lady. I thought it was this protocol.
You can treat the first one as like a test run, and then
Right.
really master it by the last one.
Right. You get one good, like one solid one. Get a few.
So we're staying here the whole time though, right? There's no like, okay, I was told there might be a movement. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Fine with me.
And then on the departure, how's that going to work?
Like the last one.
Well, no, when everyone's
Oh, like
done.
the actual part.
So,
Yeah, right.
so we,
You want to readjust your...
Am I on your way here? I can go up one more.
Well, I'm trying to figure out their position.
Oh, I don't know. I think I will go one just in case you can.
Okay. If he drops that flag, are you sure? No, I mean like down. Oh. To drape it.
Oh, that was wrong.
I might have to come where you're at.
Nobody's hard.
I didn't think
You
about
want to be
that.
right up against the.
I didn't think about that, and now I'm anxious.
they're just staying straight up.
Just staying straight up?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me
Thank
see.
you, that's helpful.
If you want to go higher, you can.
Go high. No, it's not necessarily the higher, it's just.
Totally blocked.
Yeah.
Just make sure you never are in the way of this camera.
Never in this way. Do you know the choreography? The concept?
Probably usually right there.
And you should know. Okay, good. Thanks.
Thank God you're here.
Just in case I get I'll be down. Not in the way.
I mean, you'll be in my way.
Just please listen to the Wrangler, Isaac.
That should work.
You are in, your head's in the way.
Apparently, like, Alaska.
Whose head? Mine or his?
No one was listening to, like,
I was here
Caroline
for
or Alaska, so they
Sorry.
were like, Isaac, we need to.
Is this
He, like,
okay?
Stood up.
If I go here?
Everyone listened
No,
to
it's
him.
even more than that. If you
Well,
go up one more.
I mean,
You want to go up one more?
I don't, because then I'll be really high over them. Can you just come next to me?
Yeah, that should work.
I'm sorry.
Just you guys know we have no audio.
No worries.
It's where we want that flag. How short are these people? They all look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Alright, these front two no longer options. TV sets.
Oh,
Where I am.
I got pictures.
Alright, good.
Oh, Jacqueline, I think you're in the TV shot.
No, he just had me move.
Oh, okay.
Am I still in the TV shot?
I don't know. Olivia texted me, but it might have been a minute ago.
Yeah, he asked me to move from 2 to 3, so I did. And the last thing I want to be is on TV. I get lots of phone calls. It's annoying. My dad gets all happy. But I don't.
For years, man. I've got years of standing.
When you're totally sitting there, you're not even your dog. We need a picture of Win. Chilling. Test from shot.
Hello. Good, just yeah. All of you guys are on the opposite side. Just as an FYI, all the officials. Yeah, I think they're gonna. You're probably. We become one by one. Yeah, you're fine. They're fine here. Right. They're gonna bring. Where are you? Okay, let me take you to where you need to go. Then come.
No, we do the arrival here.
Yeah.
Alexis is coming
she first?
But I'm having an interview with NATO and...
Oh, okay, perfect. That's why you're standing up here. Okay. Now I'm tracking.
And then we go in? No, we go back fast.
Yeah, you'll just meet up with them. They'll take you upstairs.
Right.
We set up a... so he can me, we set up a family photo with the lights and everything was nice. Yeah, she came early.
Oh, are they going
to? Yeah. For these two or the ones in Ukraine's going to arrive around 1?
Yeah, that's
a little bit. Yeah, probably around 2.
Go burn. They lied.
And then we should drop it, and then we'll need to shot this one. Flag.
You are young.
Okay. This is okay. We'll just scoot it. There. Outside. Slam for 20 minutes. I'm out. Ambassador Crowley is the chief of protocol. And then President India is happy. She is, yes. Long blonde hair, you'll see her now. The shot nice up there? I was debating whether putting somebody up there or not.
Well, they can't hear us. We just need visual.
Do you have Andrea's cell phone number? Can you call or text her and ask her if you would like?
What's wrong now?
It's live.
Oh, okay. Am I in the shot though? Okay, great. Just to tap me if you need to, like, whatever, wiggle. But Nathan, for the actual shot, you'll be down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
Sorry,
Yeah.
maybe.
You're fine. If it's important to you, I can go down now.
I'm just making sure.
After everything, when I get all of you guys, probably do groups of video and photo, and bring you in for 5 or 10 minutes. Your own thing. You'll also be in there with the press, so you'll follow the press around. There's nothing going on. They're all just going to be huddled in the room, waiting, eating. Okay. The only people over there are Ukraine delegation. Yeah, and they're going to walk off. So you'll go in with the press for the multi-lap, and they do the top of the that. When you guys come out, hopefully you guys can. There shall be. In that. Yeah. You have access to us. Whatever I take, my team takes, we're going to send to NATO's ambassador.
Yeah, you're right. We sit up there.
EU's ambassador. Okay. Or however that works. Is that my State Department? Yeah. No, there shouldn't be, and there shouldn't be anybody that you guys know other than Zelenskyy. Yeah, but I know he didn't do anything. He just kept it very remarks and then sprays.
wanted to do something for me outside, right? And I was like, and then she was like, just kind of stumbled upon it. What do I do? And when I was going through, I had like U.S. Air Force and stuff. Yeah, and so she's now since stopped working, so I've had to try and find like another, like this is a different person that will do the same thing. Which I've found, but they're kind of they're on and off, you know. She was doing it like as her.
You have an order of arrival
Yeah,
yet?
like well, the lady that I knew was doing it with like her main source of income, so she was like really diligent about it. This new lady.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Thank you.
Could you just sort of tell us? Thank you.
You can stay wherever you wish.
FYI, y'all, I'll probably be in this general area.
Okay.
Do your thing.
If you need me to move, just say move.
Thanks for this is live, so cut, please.
Cut in front? No, I'm going to be right here. No, you're good.
It's just like the quarter top of your head.
Totally fine. Just sit.
Yeah, sorry.
You're
Perfect,
good?
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works great. Thanks, love.
Oh.
Oh, that's what I wanted.
Thank
Do you need it? Hold on, let me just send it to my crew.
Micah?
Yeah. I'll get you.
Thank you.
Do you have it?
No.
Get off her? Okay.
Yep, all good. Thanks, Lynn.
Cars in the hole.
No, 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 no.
You're going to?
doors. Ready, pop. Ready, open. Is it okay?
You look very handsome as always. Nice to see you, my friend.
Ready, close.
Thank you so much.
Ready, shut.
How are you? Yes, Mr. Advisor. So good to see you. So good to see you.
Ready, two. Ready, face.
Is that okay? Was that anybody's way?
No, you're good. Man. Thank you, brother.
If I took under you, is that okay? Because they're more flaggy than I thought they would be.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just see how it goes the next one.
Let's see. Mais bonjour, c'était plutôt là, donc ça passe vers 60 000 là. Ensuite, je viens avec ça.
It's a live camera.
Hands loop. Ready, two. Ready, doors. Ready, pop. Ready, open.
Madam President, what a pleasure to see you again.
Ready, close. Ready, shut. Ready, two. Ready, face.
See you later.
I'll just go below. I'll sit. Okay. I'm getting totally screwed here, so.
You are.
There I was totally screwed. I got like 0 for 2, so.
Sir.
I'm gonna see if they'll let me go.
Where's the room?
If this is
Over here.
Say Micah.
Can I go there, Joe?
Can't be on the ground down there.
Can you just hold me around? They just told me no. Are you okay if I'm getting over here? I can also drop down.
Right. Yeah.
Ready, two. Ready, doors. Ready, pop. Ready, open.
Mr. Prime Minister. Nice to see you again. Oh, I see you.
Ready, close. Ready, shut. Ready, two. Ready, fix.
We're gonna cover for the gym. We're covering
It's Italy. Italy's next.
I'm just telling you.
It's Italy next. Oh, right.
Good. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. That's fine. We'll also have everything for you guys.
Okay, yeah.
You're okay.
Okay. We good okay? Are we okay right now? As long as you guys are low.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, I never seen you.
If Germany's next, stay here for Germany. Yeah. Simon asked that you were up.
I don't know yet. I'm gonna see.
Oh, you went there for us?
No, I was still between you guys.
Better shot over here. I'm gonna step back. Get
Salute. And salute. Ready, two. Ready, doors. Ready, pop. Ready, open. Ready, close. Ready, shut. Yep. Ready, two, ready, face.
Finland is next. Do they have a photographer? Oh, okay. Live camera. Oh,
Ready, doors. Ready, top. Ready, open. Ready, close. Ready, shut. Ready, two. Ready, face.
trying to tighten the timeline now. We're getting it on the other side of the train. Okay, copy on that. All right. Well, gotcha. Thank you, Jesse. Thanks for the call. You want to try your one? Okay, Brandon. All right, Brandon. Brandon. All right, so we are set to receive protocol is saying hold. Excellent, excellent. That's great. Thank you. Are you a big vacation? No. Hey, Brandon, sorry about that. Okay, you come, Brandon. 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 Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. Yeah, make sure that they're here. Hold at the gate.
Ready, close. Ready, shut. Ready, face. Happy to be here again. Thank you. Forward march.
Comment je récupère le dossier là-devant je suis si je peux les deux.
Probably not.
Just over there. He's the president. Man Bond.
Ready, two. Ready, face.
Okay, Brandon, I'll talk to you up there, okay? You're done?
Yeah, so that's the reason like a bit of you. Good job.
So much fun. So we'll remember. I was just so happy when they got air conditioning. I remember when they didn't have air conditioning.
And then because it looked like a picture, I'm like, oh, and then it was like, get him.
sidewalk.
Should I turn the light?
Everybody that's on the sidewalk, you need to go behind this black pole, please. Thank you. Everybody over here. Over there. Behind the black pole, I like it. Is this your business? If it's not your business, behind the black pole. Thank you.
Talking, the whole
Hey, what are you guys doing with people with appointments?
appointments for what?
Oh my God, no.
They saw you. Nie stanę przed kamerą, no bo to jest ten moment, jak wyjął Zelensky'ego, ale jest z tyłu, jak to jest zadowolony, że jest sobie niż na okej, tak? Yeah, right. How's that?
Here we go, I got a little bit more.
How's that?
Excellent, thank you. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You come up with your when it's happening, hold down. Hold on.
Yeah.
You can use it.
Are you sure?
until there is.
Sì, è esattamente così, siamo in attesa esattamente qui del presidente Zelenskyy che sarà accolto da Donald Trump qui davanti alla ovest della Casa Bianca per tutti praticamente gli onori del momento, che sono le guardie che rappresentano ogni Stato, proprio per questo bilaterale, questo faccia a faccia che sarà una ripetizione di quello che abbiamo visto a fine febbraio con le delegazioni, sarà presente anche Jimmy Vance, dovrebbe durare più o meno un'ora, adesso all'1 il Presidente riceverà qui Zelenskyy, scopriremo anche quale sarà l'outfit che vediamo la storia nell'ultimo incontro e verso le 14:15 alle vostre 20 ci sarà una foto vediamo tutti quanti i leader che in questo momento sono a pranzo e verso le 21 avremo un multilaterale del libro probabilmente che capiremo qual è la posizione sia dell'Europa che di Zelenskyy. Ovviamente c'è la volontà che non si ripeta quello che succede con Zelenskyy cacciato e Donald Trump arrivato con l'Ucraina. Ovviamente sono passati quasi 6 mesi, tanta acqua sotto i ponti, ovviamente adesso la volontà, come ha detto Trump, è quella di ottenere una pace, ottenere dei risultati, soprattutto lato fronte.
Słuchaj, a teraz trzymamy nasz mikrofon. Czy jest dobry dźwięk? Jest okej? Może tak być, jak teraz trzymam mikrofon. Próba, raz, dwa, trzy, 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 raz, dwa, trzy. Raz, dwa, trzy, próba dźwięku, raz, dwa, trzy, 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 raz, dwa, trzy. Próba, raz, dwa, trzy, raz, dwa, trzy, raz, dwa, trzy. Po prostu mi brakuje ręki, wiesz, myślałem, że może brakuje mi ręki. Zobacz.
Anybody worth it? I'm so lost, I'm fine.
Słuchaj, a teraz, raz, dwa, trzy. Obserwowany, tak? Mam pytanie, załóżmy, jeśli nie wyjechałby z Zełańskim jakoś tak nagle przed moim live'em, czy jeżeli ja wam to powiem na ofie, to ty to usłyszysz, czy nie? To będzie takie wołanie na puszczy.
get doors. The back door
Oh
does.
no!
Back door.
After all that, unless it's pulling round. Maria?
Yeah, so we do solve for our life. So, I'm not going to do us, but that was Mr. Fletcher and Sergeant Becht. Sergeant Becht. Christopher Becht. No, I mean, it's just whoever was available to go. And my first big summit is a month ago. Experience to go, and like Fletcher's been around the longest in the office. He's been here for over 20 years. 20 plus years, yeah. Like 20 years. He's been here because he first started off in the military and came on as a government civilian afterwards. So, yeah, he's been around forever. Well, he's just been doing it for so long. I would say he always, yeah, I actually haven't been in a while. I think I've been twice. I did one of our Mar-a-Lago trips back in March, and then I got to do G7 actually, where we got the, hey, y'all going home today. It's like, oh, okay. Gates open. Gates open. Is that a rainy contract? Gates are open. Gates open. Oh, it's raining. They're not. Nobody's come out. So. They are. Yeah, arrival's happening. Gates open.
I'm born ready.
And for how long will this take?
That's fine.
It'll be fast, but they usually turn in late and are there for a second.
Okay, arrival's happening. Yeah, I gotta go. Bye.
Ja też mam taką nadzieję. Tak, to już jest największy
Sta arrivando.
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather here today. And Russia continues to attack civilians, this time in Kharkiv, killing many.
there are just offers of peace on the table. Will you see land to Russia?
I love it. I love them, right? You said I love them, right?
I don't know if we can. I don't
All right, so Zelenskyy has entered the building. So at this point, I'm not sure how much of a break we have until we get some actual substance and get them in a room with microphones and cameras. But I'm assuming we're going to have a little while. So I'm here watching. Again, I'll leave the stream going as long as we have a feed. And then we'll reconvene if and when we get to see them in the wherever they're meeting, Oval Office or some other place. If we get like a small presser or interview or anything like that. So again, we'll leave the stream going as long as we have a live feed from someplace there at the White House. And then I'll join you if there's anything going on. I'll be here watching, doing some other work. So we'll keep this going.
You guys good? Oh wait, I got they got you back here. This one's not so long.
Yes, short answer is yes. He left. He walked out.
Between us.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the President of Ukraine with us. We've had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good talks, and I think progress is being made, very substantial progress in many ways. We had a good meeting, as you know, just a short while ago with the President of Russia, and I think there's a possibility that something could come out of it, and today's meeting is very important. We have, I guess, the seven very powerful leaders from Europe, and we're going to be meeting with them right after this meeting, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. If I can, first of all, thank you for invitation, and thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war. Thank you, and using this opportunity, many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children, abducted children, and my wife, First Lady of Ukraine, she gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife.
I want it.
Yeah. So we are saying this sensitive topic, yes, please. And thanks to our partners, and that you supported this format, that after our meeting we can have leaders who are around us, UK and France, Germany, Italy, Finland, EU, NATO, I mean all partners around Ukraine supporting us. Thanks them, and thank you very much for invitation.
Thank you very much for being here.
President Trump.
Yes, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, President Zelensky, you say in a post on X today, Russia must end this war, which it itself started. President Trump, you say President Zelensky of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to. Which is it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed, and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week. I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason. A big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And I know the president, I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it ended.
And as you met with Putin on Friday, today you've got President Zelensky here. As you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards? Right
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here to be, look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that had a lot to do with this happening, and we want to get it ended. And we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to end good. The people of Ukraine have suffered incredibly.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. You know that today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support, American and European partners. And we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war. And we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
Mr. President,
if the peace deal will be achieved, if the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
Well, we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine, and we're going to make sure it works. And I think if we can get to peace, it's going to work. I have no doubt about it.
Your team has talked about
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you rule that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting with 7 great leaders of great countries also, and we'll be talking about that. They'll all be involved, but there'll be a lot of help. When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe, but we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved. Yes.
Vladimir Putin mentioned that the war will not end without addressing the root causes of this war. Have you had an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time, but they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan, we're talking about the big places. When you look at, you just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo, Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear, as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Like guarantees or like the special envoy put forward.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries and great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace. Go ahead, please. In the red.
President Trump, do you think it's fair for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine cedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered? Do you think it's a fair peace for Ukraine?
We're going to have a lasting peace. Just to answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace. I hope it's going to be immediately. I hope it doesn't have to go on. And I think people of the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter from the First Lady. And the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin. And it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children and the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she believes that Mr. Putin is the aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelenskyy?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves, probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children, and she hates to see something like this happening. And that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt. It was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him. And she did ask me to say, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end. And she says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow because so many people have been killed.
Mr. President, last week,
Brian, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for each of you. First of all,
President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? That's the one that attacked you last time. See, now he's.
I remember that.
No, my first question for you, President
But you
Zelensky.
are in the same suit.
I
You see, I changed, you are not.
Maybe yours is much better.
Yes,
Real
please.
quickly, upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances. And a little bit, we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say
we are ready.
during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake
You like
news
this
is.
idea?
No, this is
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane for me even to ask this, but do you think the American media really doesn't even want a peace deal? Because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace.
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg, and thousands of miles around them, they would say, I made a bad deal. The level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, you know, in solving all of these wars, they don't even write about it. You know, I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37, and a couple of quicker ones. One that was going to go into a full-blown deal very quickly. You know what the one I'm talking about. It was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do, no matter what, and you know, this is not anything to do with you. It's probably to your advantage in a certain way. But no matter what I do, no matter what deal I make, from my standpoint, you'll come out good. Maybe President Putin will come out good. But they'll say, Trump was absolutely horrible. It's just that, and I've lived with that for a long time. I've lived with it since just before the first election. I used to get great publicity. Now I get the worst publicity anyone's ever gotten in office, but I won in a landslide, so that people understand. They're the only ones that count, ultimately. But I've also had great reporters. I've had journalists that are very good. But it's very sad when you do the right thing. As an example, they said, because of the fact that Vladimir Putin came to American soil, this was a tremendous defeat for Donald Trump. No, it was really wonderful that he did it. It was a hard thing for him to do, to be honest with you. It was the opposite of what they said, but they said it. Now, if he didn't come, they'd say that was also bad for Trump. Yeah, there's no way. And there's just a great dishonesty of the press, and I think that's why it's lost its credibility. You know, its credibility is at an all-time low. We have a thing going on right now in D.C. We went from the most unsafe place anywhere to a place that now friends are calling me up, Democrats are calling me up, and they're saying, sir, I want to thank you. My wife and I went out to dinner last night for the first time in 4 years, and Washington, D.C. is safe, and you did that in 4 days. I'll tell you, it's safe. I had another friend of mine, he has a son who's a great golfer, he's on tour, and he came in 4th yesterday in the big tournament where Scotty Scheffler made the great shot, and he said his son is going to dinner in Washington, D.C. tonight. I said, would you have allowed that to happen a year ago? He said, no way, no way. He said, what you've done is incredible. And I think the people realize it. But the press says, he's a dictator, he's trying to take over. No, all I want is security for our people. But people that haven't gone out to dinner in Washington, D.C. in 2 years are going out to dinner. And the restaurants the last 2 days were busier than they've been in a long time. Thank
So
you
I
for
walked
that.
around, I walked around yesterday with MTG. If you can walk around with D.C. with MTG and not be attacked, the city is safe.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week you warned of what you called severe consequences if a 30-day ceasefire or any type of ceasefire were not agreed to by Russia. Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because of
I don't
the
think you
US
need a
president?
ceasefire. You know, if you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war. I didn't do any ceasefires. And I know that it might be good to have, but I can also understand strategically why, well, you know, one country or the other wouldn't want it. You have a ceasefire and they rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, and, you know, maybe they don't want that. But if you look at the 6 deals that we made peace and you know, long-term, long-running wars, I didn't do any ceasefires. Would I like the concept. You know, I like the concept of a ceasefire for one reason, because you'd stop killing people immediately, as opposed to in 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever it takes. But we can work a deal where we're working on a peace deal while they're fighting. They have to fight. I wish they could stop. I'd like them to stop. But strategically, that could be a disadvantage for one side or the other. But all of these deals I made without even the mention of the words ceasefire.
Can you explain the decision to offer Ukraine Article 5-like security guarantees, but stop short of pushing for their full membership?
Yeah, well, we haven't done anything on that yet. If you look back and you go back long before President Putin, it was always a statement that they would never allow Ukraine into NATO. So that was a statement that was made, but we haven't discussed any of that yet. We're going to be discussing it today. But we will give them very good protection, very good security. That's part of it. And the people that are waiting for us, they are, I think they're very like-minded. They want to help out also.
Thank you, President Trump. The United States has already given hundreds of billions of dollars to this war effort in Ukraine.
Biden.
At best, it is a stalemate, and the killing continues. So, President Trump, how much more is the United States willing to give Ukraine? And President Zelensky, how much more do you want?
Well, I'll start off just by saying we're not giving anything now. We're selling weapons. This is something before, I guess the number is well over $300 billion. That was under Joe Biden, a corrupt politician, not a smart man, never was. By the way, go back 40 years, he was not a smart man 40 years ago either, but now he's in particular bad. This was done by a corrupt administration that shouldn't have been in, and frankly, if the right results of the election were given, if I were president, this war would have never taken place, and he would have been very happy, because he would have liked to have seen, I mean, they went through hell. He went through hell. This war would have never happened, and the people that were killed, a couple of million people, a lot of people with soldiers and everything else, and the people that have been displaced and forced into other areas and other countries because of what's happened, none of that would have happened. And I'm just saying that he was a horrible president, whether it was the borders or this, he was just a horrible, corrupt president.
Mr. President,
you want to answer?
I can't. Thank you so much. So first of all, we have possibility now to buy weapon from the United States. We are thankful for this program and this opportunity. We are thankful for Europe. They pay for this. And through NATO program, for example, Pearl and etc., we have some programs where we can have some money to finance this. And this is a part, I think, it's not a part for the war and to defend us. It also will be a part for security guarantees, to strengthen our army, to rearm Ukrainian army. This is very, very important. And it depends how much money we need to rearm. For example, the question of air defense, we spoke about it with President Trump, and I'm happy that we have now bilateral decisions and we work on it with production, American production. Nobody in Europe has so many air defense like Patriots, for example. We need it very much, and this is also about defending.
And I think, you know, I think the good news, we make the best military equipment in the world by far. You mentioned the Patriots. How good are they?
Systems.
We have systems, they're literally 100% foolproof. And it's really like shooting two bullets, you know, two bullets hitting each other in the air in a space like this. The chance is 100%. It's 99 to 100%. So we sell the equipment to NATO, and NATO does what, I don't know what the arrangement is that you have with, but I know that they want you to have that equipment. And we're getting the best equipment in the world, but they pay us for the equipment. Under Biden, it was just crazy what was going on. I believe the number is over 300. I think it could be $350 billion worth of equipment and money and everything else. And we've made more progress in settling this war in the last 2 months than they made in 4 years. This should have been settled a long time ago, but it should have never happened. Yeah, please.
You pushed out on social media.
Brian, go first.
You pushed out on social media about doing away with mail-in ballots and potentially electronic voting machines. Can you explain on that? How
Well, I will. That's a very off-topic, just really quickly. Mail-in ballots are corrupt. Mail-in ballots, you can never have a real democracy with mail-in ballots. And we, as a Republican Party, are going to do everything possible that we get rid of mail-in ballots. We're going to start with an executive order that's being written right now by the best lawyers in the country to end mail-in ballots because they're corrupt. And you know that we're the only country in the world, I believe, I may be wrong, but just about the only country in the world that uses them because of what's happened. Massive fraud all over the place. The other thing we want change are the machines. For all of the money they spend, it's approximately 10 times more expensive than paper ballots. And paper ballots are very sophisticated with the watermark paper and everything else. We would get secure elections. We'd get much faster results. The machines, I mean, they say we're going to have the results in 2 weeks. With paper ballots, you have the results that night. Most people, but most people, many countries use paper ballots. It's the most secure form. So between paper ballots, very, very important, paper ballots, and I think maybe even more important, the mail-in voting. We're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. If you have mail-in vote, even Jimmy Carter with this commission, they set it up. He said the one thing about mail-in voting, you will never have an honest election if you have mail-in. And it's time that the Republicans get tough and stop it because the Democrats want it. It's the only way they can get elected. Because with men and women's sports and with transgender for everybody and open borders and all of the horrible things, and now the new thing is they love crime. They're fighting me on the fact that I've made Washington, D.C. safe. We're not going to get mugged, beaten up, or killed like all the people you've been watching get so badly hurt. I'm glad, I hate to take your time in this, but I'm glad you asked me that question. We're going to stop mail-in ballots because it's corrupt. You know, when you go to a voting booth and you do it the right way and you go to a state that runs it properly, you go in, they even ask me, they asked me for my license plate, for identity. I said, I don't know if I have it. He said, sir, you have to have it. I was very impressed, actually. But it's very hard to cheat with mail-in voting. As you know what happens in California, it's so corrupt, where some people get 5, 6, 7 ballots delivered to them. Now, we got to stop mail-in voting, and the Republicans have to lead the charge. The Democrats want it because they have horrible policy. If you have mail-in voting, you're not going to have many Democrats get elected. That's bigger than anything having to do with redistricting, believe me. And the Republicans have to get smart. We're not going to have a country. I said for a long time at rallies, you need borders and you need free and fair elections. Those two things, otherwise you don't have. We have strong borders now. In 90 days, Mr. President, we didn't have 0 in 3 months. Not one person came in illegally into our country. In fact, even I find that hard to believe, but it's run by a little bit of a liberal group that put out the numbers, so I guess it's, but 0, 0, and 0. You go back a year ago, 2 years ago, 3, millions of people poured into our country. It was terrible. Thank you very much.
What guarantees do you need from President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Everything. And really, it includes 2 parts. First, strong Ukrainian army. That's what I began to discuss with your colleagues. And it's a lot about weapon and then people and training missions and intelligence. And second, we will discuss with our partners. It depends on the big countries, on the United States, on a lot of our friends.
Mr. President, are you willing to commit American troops to that NATO-like protection in order to get President Zelenskyy to a deal today?
Well, I don't know if you define it that way, but NATO-like, I mean, we have people waiting in another room right now. They're all here from Europe, biggest people in Europe, and they want to give protection. They feel very strongly about it, and we'll help them out with that. I think it's very important. I think it's very important to get the deal done.
You've been involved to the peacekeeping in Ukraine since your first day in the administration. What would you say to the Ukrainian people right now who are suffering under the Russian attacks and hoping that the American people will stand with them?
Well, I know Ukrainian people. I've known many over the years. They're great people. They're smart. They're energetic. They love their country. I mean, they love their country, and we want to get this war ended. That's all I can do. I love the Ukrainian people, but I love all people. I love the Russian people. I love them all. I want to get the war stopped. Very important.
Mr. President, was there any aspect of your discussion with Vladimir Putin that left you disappointed?
Look, we just spoke to, I was just telling the president, I just spoke to President Putin indirectly, and we're going to have a phone call right after these meetings today. And we may or may not have a trilat. If we don't have a trilat, then the fighting continues. And if we do, we have a good chance. I think if we have a trilat, there's a good chance of maybe ending it. But he's expecting my call when we're finished with this meeting. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let's go. Everybody,
Thank you.
Thank you.